Hello everyone and welcome to today's lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to use columns for calculations within the select query. Alright, so here we have our customer information query with all the standard fields including account number, client's name, discount, and total orders over 5 years. What I want to do here is I may want to use another column to adjust values within the query. All right, so in this case, I'm just gonna make some of the columns invisible. So if I run it now, I have 6 columns, but I don't actually need all of them at this time. So I'm gonna go back to view and say, okay, I don't need the address, email address, and discount at this time. So let's see what happens. Let's see if I run it. I only have 3 columns, which makes my data a little bit more manageable and easier to see. But this lesson is about using a column to calculate values within the select query. So I'm going to use this last column and I'm going to mark it as visible. And let's pretend that our orders are in USD, but you want to convert them to Euro dollars. If you have a corporation or an international business, that is quite common. Or maybe we're exchanging money every time we receive an order. So depending on the situation. So I'm going to type in Euro dollars. And in order to start my calculations, I'm going to put a column here. All right. And I'm going to say, okay, I want to convert this to Euro dollars now. So how do I do that? In order to do that, you have to open a bracket, and it's a square bracket. And let me just make this a little bit bigger. You can actually use a builder here at the top to calculate values. So let's just click that to make it easier. Okay, so I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna work with total orders, so just double click on that. I don't need the expression here. And I'm gonna convert it to euros. So let's pretend the foreign exchange is 110 at the moment, all right? So I'm just gonna type times 1.1, and this is all you need. So the first thing is that you need your column value in brackets, the column that already exists, and then you can do multiple calculations with it, whatever you want. Multiply, subtract, you can work with text, you can check values. So very similar to Excel, but in this case, it needs to be a little bit more specific. You need to go to the builder here, or just type it right in this row. All right, so I'm just gonna say, okay, I'm gonna run it. And it just populates here. So Euro dollars, total orders over 5 years times 1.1. And let's go ahead and run it, okay? And see what happens. So now I have 19,000 for total orders, and this is just 10% extra. So this column times 1.1, and I get a different value. This is very useful if you're summarizing data later in the process, or if you're working with accounting. Once again, you can work with different values, similar to Excel. Access has many different formulas, which we will cover later. But for demonstration purposes, we just wanted to show you that you can actually use columns for calculations. Now, once this is done, you can also filter this information. So my minimum and maximum order, I believe, was under 100,000. So let's just check one more time. So let's sort in ascending order. So it looks like, yeah, it is 99,708 for 5 years. Now, this is a little bit higher, right? So let's say I want to enter to filter in euros now, and I want to filter everything over 100,000 euros. So although I'm doing a calculation, I can actually filter this information. Even though Access is calculating it, it is able to filter it at the same time. Okay, so I'm just gonna save it and run it. And what happens here is I have all my Eurodollar orders over 100,000, and this is just a US equivalent. Stop this video at any time. If you need more time, you can play with different parameters. You don't have to multiply, you can divide or apply a different exchange rate. So practice as much as you would like. This is it for today's lesson, and thanks very much for watching.